What's good, people? Let's break down the Bulls versus the Dragons. Finished earlier today, 55-15 to the Bulls. They are putting in such ridiculous performances. They're on such a brilliant run when they need it most. So before I continue, please like and subscribe. It really does help the channel grow. A vast majority of people that do watch my videos are not currently subscribed. So if you guys are enjoying the content, please hit that like button and subscribe, and let's break it down. So first up, brilliant scoreline for the Bulls. They're putting in such brilliant work, securing that second place spot, putting them in a brilliant position for the playoffs. And honestly, I do believe that they are the favorites to win the URC this year. I really do. We saw the game between Leinster versus Glasgow. Leinster managed to scrape through a win, and the Bulls are flying high. The Bulls are also the only team to beat both Leinster and Glasgow, which is a big feat. And going into this time of the year, it's only going to get bigger. So I don't know. Could the Bulls continue on with this form? Are they going to flop? I don't know. But in the form that they're currently in, the performances that they're also putting up against big sides, as well as weaker sides, they are consistent throughout. They've had big players like Van der Merwe, like Peterson, who played absolutely brilliantly today, putting in some serious performances. I mean, they um the Bulls put through 9 tries, 5 conversions, 114 carries, 8 line breaks. I mean, Peterson himself got 10 points, 10 carries. He beat 5 defenders, 2 tries. The guy was just absolutely phenomenal. And it is performances like this at the right time in the back end of the season, which is exactly what you want when it matters most. This is when you want to be playing your best, because this is when you're going to be getting to the back end of the season. You're going to be going into your playoffs, and then you're going to be going in flying high, lots of confidence, and with your players playing in their best form physically possible. If we watch and we take a look at that Leinster side, they were very good defensively, but they felt broken in attack. They felt broken in attack, which, coming into this kind of end of the season, you do not want. You want your team to be just destroying people. And now, yes, they didn't exactly have Gibson Park, which is a big part of how they play, but that's no excuse, right? We are coming into this part of the season, and the Bulls are playing brilliantly. They've got flow. Their their formations are brilliant. Their players know exactly where they need to be. Their points, they are working telepathically. They don't need to know where the player is to pull off that pass, because they are going to have someone there to assist. They are always going to have that additional player. They are coming in quick with their rucks. They are they're fighting for those breakdowns, and they are really putting pressure on these teams. And this is where I do feel the game is won and lost. The pressure that you're putting on them when you're coming through with your strong tackles. You want to be making meters, as many as physically possible, and then working through, right? And this is something that they are doing so good. They are such a physically brilliant squad. They've got some big names in their team, and they are just defiant. I can say they are defiant. They are just fierce. They do not give up. They are very resilient. And this season, I do feel that they have what it takes to win the URC out of anybody there is. Yes, we do have the Sharks, which is kind of like an underdog who, yes, they have been putting in good performances. And at the end of the day, when it comes down to the playoffs, anything is possible. It's a 50-50. It comes down to who plays better on the day. But Leinster have the squad. They have the depth. Glasgow, they have a brilliant squad. Not as much depth, but they've got an elite level players. The Bulls, again, not as much depth, but they got some serious players playing in their best form, right? And ultimately, I do not care. Form will outperform quality a good portion of the time, right? Because yes, we do. Leinster do have players like Barrett and O'Brien, who had a brilliant game. They have the likes of Gibson Park. They have just a whole multitude of players, right? But when you have players on the elite level that the Bulls are playing at, in form, with confidence, they are more than likely going to outperform that quality with low performance, with low motivation, right? So if the Bulls continue on with this form into the playoffs, we could very well see the Bulls lifting the trophy this year. I really do believe they could potentially win the trophy. Yes, there are a lot of teams in here. I don't want to take away any of the spots between 5 and 8. We saw Edinburgh put in brilliant performances. We saw the Scarlets, even though they lost, they still managed to qualify for the playoffs. Right? There are still elite level teams in here that anything is possible. Anybody can take it. But honestly, you look at the top 4, more than likely it is going to end up being one of them. But this was another strong performance. The Dragons could not handle them. Another high scoring performance from the Bulls, right? Their attack is brilliant. Their defense still needs work. Mistakes are made, but ultimately, no team is perfect. All the teams are a constant project in terms of getting better. And more than likely, we are going to end up seeing a much better Bulls next year. But the same thing with Leinster, the same thing with Glasgow, with Sione Tuipulotu. He's just coming back. He had a pretty good game. We are going to be seeing him in the new year with a brilliant performance. Well, I say new year, new season, with absolutely stunning performances. More than likely, that's the kind of player that he is, right? But it's going to come down to now. Can the Bulls continue on with their form in the short run to be able to get that trophy? Honestly, I think they can. Now, I want to hear from you guys. Do you think the Bulls can win it considering performances like this? Having players that they have playing the top level, playing their best rugby, do you think that they could potentially do it? Because I do. Out of everybody, I'm a big Leinster fan. And I'm not as much, but I'm still a big Glasgow fan as well. But honestly, and this is not me being biased because I am South African. This is me looking at the fact. This is me looking at the, the play. This is me looking at how they're playing. I truly do believe this is the Bulls here. I truly do believe this is the Bulls here. And I would stick money on it to say the Bulls are going to end up winning the URC. But then again, anything's possible. Anything's possible in this competition. But I want to hear what you guys have to think. Do you think the Bulls can win it? If not, who's going to win the URC? Because both Leinster and Glasgow are looking shaky. The Sharks are low key, very consistent, but I don't feel they have what it takes if the Bulls were to play the Sharks in the final. I feel the Bulls would come out. I don't feel the Sharks would have enough to beat Leinster in the final. I feel Leinster would just have too much. And you got to think the Sharks have elite level talent. They got a whole bunch of books. It's just the Bokke that play for the Sharks. Although they're the same players, they aren't the same players, if that makes sense. The performances are two completely different universes. When the Boks play for the Sharks, they right? There's work to be done there. But when they're playing for the Springboks under Rassie, they are just like, whoa, what happened? Where did this come from? So I feel this is the Bulls here. What's your thoughts in the comment section below? And I'll catch you guys in the next one.